The meltdown was instant. Fans are furious. Talk shows are in a frenzy. And Stephen A. Smith, oh, he's practically levitating with rage. He's calling out everyone. The WNBA bullies, Commissioner Kathy Engelberg, and most especially Angel Reese, who, true to form, is out here faking a back injury like it's part of her brand strategy. If you support Caitlyn, then comment baby goat over baby giraffe. Let's go. But you have to be cognizant that no matter how you step out of your house, you are now Angel Reese, and you will always be picked apart. Unfortunately, she knows this social. She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady. She's very smart, very accomplished, and on top of it all, she is in this age where she does know social media exist, and she has exploited it to her advantage. And so, when you take that into consideration, that means you're mindful of the imagery and the perception that you're assisting in creating about yourself. Let's pause here. Caitlin Clark is the player who turned women's basketball into actual must-see TV. Before her, watching a random WNBA game was something only your overly competitive cousin bragged about. Now, Clark had people rearranging dinner plans just to catch her logo threes. And what does the league do? They run her into the ground. The WNBA will desperately try to spin this as business as usual while the product collapses faster than Angel Reese's shot selection. Unfortunately, though, the celebration in the WNBA, it was cut short yesterday afternoon as WNBA players learned the harsh lesson. Be careful what you wish for. Headline at the New York Post. Caitlin Clark sidelined with Indiana Felines announcing shock injury. Keyword shock. This injury was shocking, but not for reasons that you may think. And naturally, the first person to blow a gasket over this circus was Stephen A. Smith. ESPN's king of the mic didn't just comment, he erupted. While other league voices shuffled their feet and offered limp, get-well-soon sound bites, Stephen A. came in swinging like a one-man firestorm. He ripped into the refs. He ripped into the league. And he even ripped into the jealous players who have been throwing elbows at Clark since day one. Finally, somebody said what needed to be said. Fanatics also reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA-specific merchandise. It started with Caitlin Clark. And so now that we know all of this, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see what exactly is it that the league will do. This wasn't just commentary. Stephen A. practically held court, breaking down the WNBA's incompetence like a prosecutor presenting evidence to a jury. The executives clueless, the refs spineless, and the Angel Reese drama just another layer of embarrassment. You think the league can survive without Caitlin Clark? He asked basically. Cool. Check the numbers, then try not to cry. Thanks to Clark, Indiana led the league in attendance both at home and on the road. The Fever averaged 17,035 fans at home and over 15,000 on the road. For teams moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. That's about Caitlin Clark. How do we know this? Attendance for the entire league was up nearly 50% last year. According to data from across the timeline, Indiana led all teams with an average attendance of 17,035. That was up 319% from the year earlier. And let's check those numbers, shall we? Clark-led games this season averaged 1.178 million viewers. The games without her, a pathetic 394,000. That's not a dip. That's a nosedive. A cratering so steep you'd think the league fell off a cliff. And yet you still hear players like Angel Reese whining about Clark stealing all the spotlight. Newsflash. Maybe people don't tune in for a walking turnover who spends more time on Instagram than improving her game. Caitlin Clark makes people care. Angel Reese makes people roll their eyes. We'll find out. We don't know yet. But I'm going to be really interested in seeing, Molly, what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings, because if for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated. Stephen A. didn't just wake up one day mad about this. He's been watching the WNBA fumble the bag for months. He's seen legends like Cheryl Swoops throw shade at Clark as if jealousy were a full-time job. He's seen Reese hijack every media opportunity to play the victim. And he's watched Engelbert, the commissioner, act like Clark's rise was some happy accident instead of the only reason the league exists in water-cooler conversations right now. You asked me back, Caitlin, if you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, You have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it. Okay, right. So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years, but because there's a COVID year and then there's another year. You know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record? Engelbert's strategy, or lack thereof, is so ridiculous it almost feels like parody. The league stumbles into its once-in-a-generation star, the one player capable of dragging them into mainstream relevance. And how does she handle it? With lukewarm press releases and no plan to protect Clark from being hacked to pieces every night. It's like stumbling upon a genie in a bottle and wasting your wish on a slightly bigger bottle. Pure incompetence. I notice when you ask about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well. No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt, or whatever. So, I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries, and you can't do that alone as one person. Meanwhile, Stephen A is out here shouting, "I told you so," from the rooftops. And let's be honest, he's earned it because he's been pointing out the obvious all along. Clark isn't just the star of the WNBA, she is the WNBA. Without her, the league goes back to being irrelevant background noise. And now with her sidelined, the WNBA is scrambling to explain how their golden goose ended up battered and benched. Stephen A even dropped some wisdom in the middle of his rant. He basically said, if Caitlin Clark is the magnet pulling in millions of eyeballs, then shut up, protect her, and ride the wave. Translation: stop pretending this is some collective movement. It's not. It's Caitlin Clark carrying the entire league on her shoulders. And if you can't see that, you don't deserve to cash a single paycheck she earned for you. Became the first rookie with at least 25 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds in a playoff game. That was Caitlin Clark. Became the 4th different rookie to play all 40 minutes in a playoff game. That was her. I'm looking at other things. 6 different league television partners. This is last year. This is last season because this is the Caitlin Clark we're talking about. 6 different league television partners set viewership records this year. That year, her rookie year, for its highest viewed WNBA game. Do you know every one of those games, including the Indiana Fever?